Do not attempt to adjust your programming.
Yeah, don't do
You are
it.
now listening to B-Movies and Beyond.
I was gonna do this one, but wrong shirt.
Play thrice.
Play thrice.
I was a little early on that. Welcome in, everyone. The Movies and Beyond. It is episode 308, and we got a good one for you guys.
Always have a good one for you.
I mean, we had some big events that just occurred. Super Bowl happened, so there's lots of trailers that we need to talk about for that. Lots of new news.
New news. I love new news.
Yeah, and we got some reviews. Babylon and Baby Driver. I remembered what I watched. So,
is this your first time with Baby Driver?
I'm sure. I think I've talked about it before because I really enjoyed it. But I know I mentioned it earlier that I want to watch this movie again, and I finally did it. I finally sat down and put it on and was amazed all over again. So
let's save that for later in the episode because it's just quality film.
Yeah.
Peter, okay, let's get into it. First and foremost, how was your Super Bowl?
Pretty good. That was the beginning of shingles for me.
That's when, well, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Tell the fan base, first of all, your age and that you have shingles because everybody's going to go, what?
You could get shingles at a younger age.
It's
37 true. And our buddy Justin, he's gotten shingles multiple times, and I was blown away because I was like, how is that possible? And then, sure enough, here I am getting shingles.
I don't mean to laugh at that, but
yeah. Well, because I had no idea. I did some I was breaking up some ice the day before with a sledgehammer, because my house faces north in Colorado. And that's just the worst. The sun never hits it. It's there forever. So I'm like, all right, I need to break some of this up because it's a ice rink there.
It's deadly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And die.
So exactly. And I thought, I was like, oh, okay, I think I just pulled something in my back. And then I was tried laying down on the floor, and it was just extreme pain. I'm like, well, that's odd. I've never experienced that before. And then a few days later, a rash appeared. I'm like, this is not looking good, guys. And so went to the doctors and got shingles.
Oh man! So you have a life expectancy of 6 months?
Is that what that means?
Or
I think you can live with shingles. I think it's gonna clear up. But
well, I wish you the best. And Peter, if that happened to you before the Super Bowl, you were able to spend some time with our group of friends. But today, you sent us a message like, "Hey guys, well, I got shingles." And I read that, and I was like, "Oh no!" And then I just read some of the responses, and I just got to say, Nate's is the best.
Oh yeah. Oh no, is it in your wiener?
And Nikki just, sorry for my husband. We're like, no, that's a serious concern. No joking aside, that you don't have one, so you will never understand if it affects that. That could be game over. That could be worse than anything possible.
Yeah, well, shingles. It follows the nervous system, so that's why it's so painful. And so I have on my back, and it's falling around to my front, so it's going on my side now. And yeah, it's just it's constant pain. And then depending on how you move, you get some really sharp, very painful pains. So I don't recommend it for anyone. I hope you guys don't get it, but we're gonna power through.
I like Peter's first recommendation of the day is a non-recommendation of getting shingles. Do not get shingles.
That's right.
Super Bowl.
How was your Super Bowl?
Let me tell you this. So I flew out to Arizona where the Super Bowl was, and I went to the stadium, but I went to this area called Westgate, And that's where most of the parties were. And then got to the stadium. I was there maybe an hour before the game, and it was like dead empty around there. So maybe everybody was going inside the stadium, but I'll tell you what, like I expected the downtown Glendale area just to be packed full of people, and not so much. Not so much.
Yeah. So were
Um,
you like in that like shopping mall type deal?
yes,
Okay, so you're hanging out there. Yeah, I've been to that stadium before. It's kind of cool that you had like that, cool place to go hang and eat and get some drinks, and then you can walk to the stadium.
yeah, it's just right. It's something that Denver needs. Like
Yeah.
Denver should. When I saw that, and I saw the way that Phoenix, Scottsdale, Glendale is laid out, and everything is maybe about 30 to 45 minutes away from each other, that's
Mhm.
exactly what Denver needs. And
Yeah.
they need to build a giant loop and put the stadium in its own little area, along with its own shopping area, and call it a day. And it'll alleviate some traffic. You could have your entertainment district, casinos, stuff like that. It would make so much sense. Kudos to Arizona, Phoenix, Scottsdale area for developing that, because minimal traffic and it was plenty of fun. Like there was no stress of being in an area where you weren't supposed to because of an event. I will
Yeah.
tell you the big one was the waste management, what's called the wasted management, was going on that weekend as well. Um, and it's a Phoenix Open, but it's hosted by the trash company.
The
And
golf tournament, right?
yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
I went to that on Saturday, and Peter, dude, that was incredible. That was something where it's like, what the fuck is going on here? uh, dude, easily 300,000 people. I mean, there was a lot of people there, dude.
Nice. Did you wear your B
Okay, let
movies
me say,
beyond stuff?
let me cut it down a little bit, maybe 100,000.
Okay. Did
Um,
you wear your B movies and beyond stuff?
yes.
That didn't seem very promising that you did.
It didn't matter because everybody was wasted, and it was 10
That's
o'clock in the
the
morning.
best time to sell our podcast.
Guys, I'm wasted. What is this golf? Movies are better anyway.
That's right. You talk about Caddyshack. I mean, oh man, Happy Gilmore.
Oh,
So many golfing movies.
Shooter McGavin was there.
Was he really?
Yeah. No, he wasn't there, but he was there
Oh.
in spirit because
Yeah.
he was on Twitter blowing things up. It was funny.
Nice.
That's one of those events where Shooter McGavin would have a problem with and Happy would love. Yeah, so I'll tell
That's
you this,
cool.
and then I was there Monday and the entire city was dead. Like it was like the biggest
really.
gone.
That's because everyone's like hungover, right?
Like their downtown like club area, party area where like the Super Bowl after party in Scottsdale should have been or was
Mhm.
dead on Monday. It was weird.
But it was pretty crazy on Super Bowl though.
It was okay crazy. I mean, I was able to get a table and a seat and no problem, and it was like it organized really really well. I think that's kind of my main focus. Is it wasn't like sometimes in Denver where you're just like, I can't get in and it's not worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It's just too much.
St.
Well,
Patty's Day stuff, like St.
Yeah.
Patty's Day. I bet St. Patty's Day in Arizona is fun.
Probably, and the weather's so nice. So
What else? You're married.
well-
How's your Valentine's Day?
Pretty good. The wife wanted a new car, so we got our new car.
Oh, nice. Wow, that's a hell of a Valentine's Day gift.
Yep, there you go. Yep. So, yeah, pretty good. How was yours?
It was good. I was flying back on that day and kept it pretty easy and had some pizza and watched a movie for the podcast.
Nice, good job. You're doing better than me. I just, oh man, it's probably why I
Really?
got shingles, man. I can't even watch a movie. Too much is happening.
Yeah, well, you bought a car.
Yeah.
Man, you've been buying cars like crazy. What are you, a dealership?
Oh, it seems that way sometimes.
Did the wife need a new car, or was she
Oh, the previous car was pretty shitty. So yeah, she needed one, and one that she would enjoy. So this is it though. She doesn't know this, but no more.
Well, don't you have to buy cars for children?
Yeah, and that was our mistake though, because we thought we need to be carting around more kids than we actually really needed to, because they weren't always going to the same place as us. So
That's true.
yeah, so downgraded a little bit, but nicer, and it's a pretty decent car. So excited.
Awesome.
Yeah, so good times. You know what else is good times?
Our question.
Yes.
How? Why? I have so many questions!
Peter, this is going to be more of a soundbite than a question. But
Okay.
there's a question in here. Let me see where's our podcast. What movie comes to mind when you hear this sound?
Oh, well, I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of other new line. I mean,
Well, I mean, you answered it. It is Ninja Turtles. That was
yeah.
a question I saw on Twitter, and it was just the image of it. And when you see that image, you hear that sound, and you're like, I just heard Ninja Turtles 1 with that upbeat sound right after it. The music and
Yeah. The other
and
one, that intro. I love that music. Dude,
it's simultaneous, right?
oh yeah, it's great. And well, so when the first one came out, I went to like some like fair or something, and I won the cassette uh tape of the Ninja Turtles the movie soundtrack. That thing got worn out.
It sounds nothing like it's supposed to.
Yeah, well, yeah, at the end, but I love that thing so much. It was my prized possession at one point. Other things though that reminds me of though is also A Nightmare on Elm Street, because those are all New Line as well.
Ah, see, okay. The other thing that brought me to that was wasn't there something that Ninja Turtles was independently funded? And the last minute, New Line was like, "Yeah, I guess we'll make it part of our brand." And everybody like Ninja Turtles just shot up New Line's like stock and turned them into an actual production company. And anything with New Line after that has just like been a classic. I mean, you see anything from New Line, and it's been a good production company. I guess there's a few like they disappeared for a while, right, Peter?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think yes, obviously, I think Ninja Turtles was a huge hit, but also, I mean, um, Nightmare on Elm Street really, I think that saved New Line Cinema.
This is funny. You look up New Line Cinema on here. I mean, on Wikipedia. Let me just pull up a Wikipedia over here that we can reference, and we'll go here. So new, you go to New Line Cinema and the wiki over here, and the first thing it says, "Nightmare on Elm Street,"
Yep.
and breaks it down, and then right after that, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Mm-hmm.
and then Ninja Turtles 2 and 3, and then a bunch of crap happens. Oh, I guess Lord of the Rings, and so you
Yep.
know,
Yep.
uh,
Well, then
uh,
they merged with Warner Brothers, and yeah.
didn't they
So
come back though? Yeah. Oh yeah. Look, Shazam, dude,
yeah, I think
and it.
Warner Brothers has been using that studio. So yeah, I love New Line. Like, dude, when you think about it, like New Line was kind of like uh maybe like the Lionsgate of their time, like, or even Legendary. I don't know. Like some of those ones where you start to notice them because they were taking chances on like uh some of these movies that you wouldn't even
Um,
know existed, like A Nightmare on Elm Street,
or
Critters. Look at all these.
Evil
Teenage Mutant.
Dead, Critters, House Party,
Mm-hmm.
dude. Friday the 13th, The Mask, dude. That's another good one.
Mm-hmm. Oh
And
yeah. Oh yeah. I
uh,
forgot about their comedies.
yeah, they had great ones. Dumb and
Mortal
Dumber,
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. We have Austin Powers. The other one for me was Blade. Every time I started Blade, and it was the New Line sound and the intro to the movie, and it was just so perfect how they. For me, the two is Ninja Turtles and it's Blade, and Rush Hour was pretty good too. But
Final
I'm
Destination. That's a big one for me.
Horrible Bosses, all good movies. So
Yeah, they've done some good stuff. That's for sure. So nice. You saw that on Twitter. That's why you did that.
yeah, I go on our B Movies Twitter and I scroll for a little bit, and it's nice because it breaks up all the sports news. Because right now, it's the Chiefs being a bunch of drunks at their party, and everybody's concerned about the Broncos coaching staff, and it's January. But I like the breakup of movies, and people on Twitter ask good questions about movie content, so I appreciate it.
Me too. I love it. I scroll through social media too and get a lot of content as well. One of those social media platforms is YouTube, where I got all these.
Here are some exciting coming attractions from
Movies and Beyond.
Trailers.
Trailers. Since we're getting better at this streaming thing, maybe I should just have those loaded up and silenced so we could talk over them. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. I do that. We don't want to do that.
No, we just want to talk awesome stuff about trailers. Peter, start off. What kind of Okay, this is my favorite.
The biggest thing is, we had a Super Bowl, and there was some. I don't. There's been a lot of the past few Super Bowls. Though, I feel like the trailer's been lackluster, but I think, and I don't know if this is where you want to start, but to me, the biggest one that hit for me for Super Bowl trailers was probably the Flash movie.
100%.
Yeah.
I think a Super Bowl trailer sets up the movie for success, and I say that because I watched the Flash trailer and it gave me everything I had questions for. It gave me flashes of Batman, flashes of Flashes, flashes of General Zod, flashes of this multiverse, flashes of this multiverse, flashes of the future, and flashes of multiple flashes. It gave me all the flashes I wanted.
Yeah, you almost had a seizure.
I almost had a seizure. But most of all, it made me excited for this movie for the first time.
I was worried. With all the Ezra Miller drama, and but then you hear it was having good test screenings, and then you hear James Gunn saying it's amazing. You hear a lot of good stuff about it, and then I thought, thank you. My wife just brought me my medicine.
Take it right now. Let's see if we get loopy.
Yeah. No, this is good. Thank you. Love you.
Look at that. Peter's doing drugs on the podcast. And drinking it with vodka? You're a rebel.
Yeah. I need my medicine.
Hey, yo.
All right. Sorry about that. I need, gotta get rid of the shingles, guys.
Quickly.
Yes.
Before you're 55.
So let me just say this. This is so dumb. They're well, maybe we can get you the vaccine, And then I was talking to Justin. He's like, dude, they won't give it to me. They won't give it to me until I'm 50. So even though we're suffering through shingles now, they will wait another, 13 years to give us the shingles vaccine to help us out. So thanks, doctors.
Thanks, docs. Thanks for nothing. But they'll give you every other vaccine in the world.
Oh yeah, they don't care. Doesn't even matter if it's tested that much. So
not at all.
Yeah. So back to the Flash. It was I thought it was everything I wanted to see. It made me believe everything I heard about it. Like you mentioned, all those flashes, all those things, and then lastly enough, Michael Keaton, the fact that you have him there and saying, I am Batman, it's fantastic. And it looks like it's going to be a fun, wild ride. And, I don't think I'm that concerned about it, even though Ryan asks this, like, oh man, it's time travel. There's another bat pod.
Oh, I
Like,
love the bat pod. It makes sense.
oh no, it doesn't.
Yes,
What?
it does.
Why?
I don't know. It just totally makes sense. It has 2 wheels in the front this time instead of one big ass wheel. It came from the hawk thing that he has. Oh
Dude,
my
if
god.
it spins around, I'm just gonna.
You're gonna
I
walk
might
out?
walk. Yeah, I might walk out. I just, but like this trailer. Well, I shouldn't say that. The trailer reminded me of when I went and saw Spider-Man No Way Home. Like
Okay.
that's how much fun. But this one looks like it can do even more because they weren't trying to keep secret all the other Spider-Man, right? They just went straight out and like, no, we have everything.
You like this
And
Batman and this Batman.
exactly. And I think it's gonna happen really quickly. I don't think we're gonna be waiting for like the third act for all these things to emerge. Like I think it's going to be pretty relevant, like it's going to be a main plot. So I'm excited. We'll see if they can pull this off, which like this is their multiverse, right?
Mhm. It's a multiverse to end the current universe.
Yeah, kind of in a certain sense.
Because this movie was set up to set him up, and maybe he can base his universe off of this movie and finally tell the story that he wants to, and it makes sense. Tie up some loose ends, make bread ties out of nothing. Like put it together. And here, here's my thing. Like Ezra Miller, for me, as an actor, he's a perfectly fine actor.
Mhm.
In his roles, he's great. As a person, he's a piece of shit. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of actors like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of pieces of shit out there, which
Ye
yeah, we can talk about that when we do my review.
And we could
So
talk about it when we do my review as well,
yeah.
because I think they're both in the, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're there. So,
Uh,
I mean, I think they nailed it. It was a perfect time to release a trailer, and it was, I think is everything you needed to see to have the warm and fuzzies for this movie, even with all the drama that's been behind it. So, what's your next one?
let's go Fast X.
Okay.
It sucked.
I so I even
It
Here's the
sucked.
thing. I feel like I like the trailers more now than the actual movies because I tried watching the ninth one. I don't know
The
what happened. I got bored and I just fell asleep through it.
And you're rightfully so, dude. I will not get mad at you for that as someone who we're supposed to watch movies and review them, but, like, dude, some of these movies, like, you can't finish them.
Yeah.
And there's 10 of them, dude.
Yeah. And I thought about like, do I need to go back and try to watch it again before the 10th one? But then I was like, I don't know. Am I even going to see the 10th one? Like, so, they have every single person that's ever been in the franchise, basically, minus The Rock.
And Paul Walker.
There's even a shot though in the trailer of him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like everyone is there, and then you bring in like am excited about Jason Momoa though. That might actually get me to see this film because he's the bad guy, and that's what I want to see. Like I think he's gonna be a great villain for Vin Diesel. So I'm super stoked for that. But then after that, like you almost have his
Too much?
backstory. That you have his backstory where like, oh yeah, back in Fast 5, he was there. Like I
Yeah.
don't know why they have to keep on explaining the like oh man,
The scene where they were robbing the vaults, where they were ripping them out of the wall, they had to add a scene of Jason Momoa standing there.
yeah, just be like,
Like,
oh no, you took
"Yeah,
my
you-"
my vaults.
It's like
It's
Han.
just
It's like after like Han crashed, they somehow showed him getting away from it.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
after you set up like, oh, Jason Statham is a bad guy, and you know what, we really like him. Let's make him not a bad guy. So what is
I
is
love.
part 2 of X gonna be Jason Momoa's the good guy again? Or going to be a good guy?
I
I
mean,
don't
it
know.
has to be, dude. That's the way that this universe plays. I think I, for one, I'm really tired of this series, and I'm a fan of the series. I'm just done with it. Unless they take our ideas, um,
We need
to
dinosaurs.
we need dinosaurs, Cadillacs, and Gone in 60 Seconds and John
Mhm,
Wick. And
mhm,
I
mhm.
mean, that's the only way that this can be saved for me.
Yeah, and who knows? Like, I mean, it's possible that they're gonna add all that. So there was so much in that trailer. Like, this is different from they showed a lot in the Flash trailer, but to me that makes sense because like that is just
They had to tell you it
like
was a multiverse movie.
yeah, and it's just like, wow, there's a lot going on, which it's not so much about like seeing that it's actually going to be there. It's like, okay, well, how's this going to play out? Like, I think that's what you want to know. Like the Fast X, like I already know how it's play out. It's every single one. It has the same exact formula, and they
Yep.
always just try to increase those stunts, get them bigger and bigger. But then they already showed, okay, there's helicopter scene where like they both like harpoon uh Dom's vehicle, and then I don't know what he does, but jumps off and makes them all crash. I'm like, was that necessary? Did you really want to show that in the trailer instantly? Um
Number one, it
and
wouldn't
then
work.
yeah, and then there's like a giant like ball that's crashing through this town, like chasing people. Like I can only assume it's like some type of magnet thing, or it'd be really cool if there's a guy in there rolling around like a
Like a
hamster
Modoc.
ball. Yeah, yeah. uh, it's just like I don't know. It was almost. It's just I don't know what is it. Is it too much? Are
It's
we have too much fatigued on it? Like you've like I don't know. Like there's been a while where I'm like they're not really. Yeah, they're doing some crazy new stunts, but some of them are just so out there that now I don't like them anymore. Which is weird
they
because
need to like refine the movie because s- they're adding just too much crap in each one of these installments. First it was street racing, then it was like the cops, and then it was the family, then it's extended family, and then it's more family, and then it's like extra family, and then we have family across the world, and then we're sending our family to space, and then we're gonna mess up your family, and then here comes your old family you didn't know about, and then this one's like you have too much family, you don't know which family to save, so
yeah. That's where they're at. They're at too much family.
there are too much family.
And that was the other thing. Like, we had that article last week saying like there's gonna be some tremendous casualties in this movie, which
For
I
now,
mean, yeah, exactly. I don't
then you're
from
gonna have
watching that,
zombie family.
yeah, from watching that trailer though, I'm like, are they really gonna kill off anyone? Like, I don't. I just, I don't. The only
Telling you.
thing. What are you telling me?
Cadillacs, dinosaurs, Gone in
Oh,
60 Seconds, John
yeah.
Wick.
I'm 100% on board. The only other thing, like I said before, the only redeeming thing that kind of makes me interested is Jason Momoa, because I want to see him as a villain. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that has my attention right now for this film. And I don't think that's enough to get me to go to the movie theater, which I'm sure it's probably going to be huge, but whatever. The next trailer though, unless you want to shit on this some more.
I'm muting my mic, sorry.
Oh,
No, I'm done shitting on this one.
okay.
Because I think at this point it's just gonna shit on itself. Next one, Peter, go with it.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I
It's
like
about
this was
family
it is about family and finding your family again. Oh shit, man,
and space family.
they're recreating it. They already, Fast series, they went to space already, so I guess that's done. But yeah, this trailer, I mean, we already had one trailer, but this one had a lot more
James
going
Gunn.
on. Yeah, a lot more James Gunn. And I enjoyed it. And now you actually got to see kind of the villain, like this guy that's trying to make like the perfect race. Was that what I got from that? Is that my understanding?
From Adam Warlock?
Well, I think that's part of it because he is supposed to be like the perfect being.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this guy is just trying to like make perfection, and I think that's not gonna gel well with some other people because of he's not afraid to maybe get his hands dirty.
Well, they are
Uh,
pretty golden, so
yeah. Here's the other thing though, is I just noticed like I'm starting to notice all these other people from all his other pieces of work. Like the bad guy is from dang it, what's that show called?
the
Peacemaker.
Suicide Squad. Oh, Peacemaker, yeah. And
Yeah,
yeah, so he has a bunch of people from Suicide Squad in this movie too.
yeah. Which I like
James
that. I
Gunn,
mean, you can tell
he
that
works with
he's
who he wants to, yeah.
yeah, and people enjoy working with him and will cameo and hop on these other things just to have a good time with them. So that's cool. I like to see that. But that's like what I liked about this. You're getting a lot more some more backstories on Rocket, and you're gonna dive deeper a little bit into these backstories. And I also just love the new interactions between Gamora and Peter now. So
Gamora and Nebula. I think you know
and
what
that too. Yeah.
I love about Nebula is Nebula was supposed to be like a pretty bad villain in the Guardians universe, and she's
Mhm.
become awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, and there's
Yeah.
a fucking otter.
There's a fucking otter now. There's a fucking raccoon and there's a fucking otter and a space dog.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this like I love it. And
And Groot's buff.
yeah, swell Groot. So and that there's that one scene where you just push out like all these limbs and he has all these guns. Like it looked just awesome. Like so, yeah, it just looks amazing. It looks very comedic. It looks like it's gonna be heartfelt, action packed, like everything you need. Um, that's not Fast X. Like it's just weird. Like you had a lot of the same stuff through all these trailers, yet some reason Fast X just didn't deliver on it. It's
You know
weird.
what the weird thing for me was mostly with Vin Diesel is they had to cake him with a lot of makeup. And
Mm,
he's not like buff Vin Diesel anymore. He's kind of like chubby.
maybe. You know what? I just figured it out. X or Fast X, it felt forced. That's what
Yes.
it remind. Everything that happens in that trailer, it feels so forced because they're trying so hard to uh exceed what they did in the last movie, and it's forcing it. It's making it so like I think that's the issue. It's not fun anymore. It's forced. So
I think what threw me off mostly with the Fast X was they had to show like everybody no matter what was it going on in the trailer. And then they show that one scene with Letty and Cypher.
mhm,
And I
mhm.
was like, that could have been saved for the movie.
Is that yeah? Like I
Like,
again,
I didn't need to see that in the trailer.
it's just forced. Like we're like, look at all these things we're doing, and that's what's so funny is that all these other ones are very action packed trailers, but it didn't feel forced to me. This one felt forced. So that's it. That's the thing that was weird about that trailer. So
Last one, Peter. And I love what they're doing with the marketing with this is Super Mario
yeah,
Brothers. The biggest
me too.
questions are like the voices of these characters, and you're just getting just a little bit here and there in whatever trailer. First one we heard a little bit of Mario. Second one we heard some Luigi, and then we heard some Seth Rogen. We heard Jack Black. Blah blah blah. But this one heard basically no one.
Hmm.
Yeah, they
Hmm.
just had the rap song. It was a commercial for their business, and that was it. And I loved it. Like that's an element of Mario you don't see, but it tied into the TV show and the original movie,
Yeah,
and that's perfect.
yeah. I liked it as a trailer for their plumbing company, and that is literally it. And did you? I went to the website. Did you go to the website or call the number?
I called the number.
What did you hear, like Mario or something?
It's
Do
Luigi.
you have it? Oh, it's
Let
Luigi.
me pull it
Nice.
up.
If you want to, because I went to
Mario.
the website and I was kind of disappointed because I was like, are they gonna give me a little like some special features or anything? And I'm like even trying to click through there to like like they're say they're looking for help. I was trying to apply for a job with them. I don't know. I felt the website kind of lacked. All it really was is just another place to watch the movie or the trailer. And I did not
Let's see.
call the line.
Thank you for calling Super Mario Brothers Plumbing. It's me, Luigi. If you need service, please text us at the same number you just called, 92955 Mario. That's 929-556-2746. Message us about any issues wherever you live, house, condo, mansion, and we'll be sure to text you back right away because at Super Mario Brothers Plumbing, we don't say let's wait. We say let's go. Oh, and check our website, smdplumbing.com. We're still working on it, so more updates to come. Bye-bye.
That is, yeah, I like it. That is fun because it's bringing I think a larger crowd to this, a larger audience now, like because there's so many more people like not it's not so much geared towards the kids, which I think you're automatically getting that, right? Kids are gonna go see this, but now you're bringing in adults, maybe some teenagers. Mario has influenced so many different people, and I think it is very wise. And it works, right? Like now you're a little bit more on board with this film and the choices they made with the voice acting and everything.
100%. I thought Sonic was a great blend to bring your kids, your nieces, nephews to go enjoy what the Sonic world is, and they did a great job. But I think Illumination is doing awesome with Mario. Like you said, you want to go see it. You want to go take your kids to go see it. You want to go see it with your friends. It's Mario Brothers. Like that's our generation, and Mario's all generations. Kids know Mario through Mario Kart. We know it through the TV show or the even better movie from 1993. Wasn't that New Line Cinema too?
Oh man, was it? I think it was. I don't know why that wasn't a hit.
Was it Mario Bros or was it Super Mario Bros?
Super Mario Brothers.
Is it Bros or Brothers?
Bros.
1993 film brought to you by Buena Vista.
Yeah.
So Disney. Weird. Okay. Any other trailers, Peter? I mean, the commercials. What'd you think about the commercials?
I mean, they paid a lot for all these celebrities to be in these trailers, right? Like and some of them I thought were kind of fun, and other ones like, that was kind of a waste of money. I better than last year. Last year, or no. Yeah, I think last year was a little bit
COVID
better.
sucked. Yeah.
Dude, 2021 was by far the worst. Like that was such a weird Super Bowl with all those commercials because they were just so like, we're not paying for this, ad space. And so you had like tons of like avocados, a lot of stuff about COVID. Like, oh man, that was such a weird commercials for Super Bowl. But
the one I liked the most was the Miles Teller one for Bud Light with the hold music that everybody knows. That was a perfect one. Simple.
Yeah,
him and his wife dancing to the hold music that everybody has heard and relatable. Best one.
Danielle and I really like that. But
should
we get in? Oh, and they had a lot of those. Like, and I don't understand why those bunnies were creepy as hell. I didn't get that. And I must have missed the one where like it looked like you're changing your screen to go to it, right? because I saw people like reacting to that online. I must have missed it, but I like that. I like when they fuck with you.
Yeah, because I think the thing on Twitter was how many of you yelled at your dad during the game when that Tubi commercial came on?
No,
Dad, where's the remote?
yeah. That's great.
Let's
All right.
see. Boom, let's do it.
News. Oh, my notebook. My news notebook.
My news book.
That's right.
All right, Peter, I'll start this off.
Take it
Ant-Man 3
away.
comes out tonight, and has an opening weekend this February 6th, 17th weekend. But it is the second MCU film to get a Rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes.
This makes me so sad because I thought that trailer, besides all the the CGI and everything, I thought like just the story looked really cool, and to hear that it's getting poor reviews is pretty sad for me. And so far I feel like they've been right. Every single one that's kind of gotten some poor reviews, I'm like, yeah, it kind of sucked. So a bummer. Not excited to hear that news.
I am kind of with you on that one. I'm still gonna go see it.
Yeah.
I haven't spoiled myself on this movie either, so I'm pretty. Actually, I'm gonna go see it tomorrow. I'm gonna go see it with Brendan Klein and our friend Jay. Jay's been wanting to be on the podcast plenty of times. He's not cool yet, but maybe after this, I'll
let
see
me
what
know when
his
let me know when he's
reaction.
cool enough.
Yeah, I'll see
man,
what
that
his
was a cool reaction.
Yeah, be like, all right, you're on, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. But I was talking with Klein about this, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I mean, it sounds good. What we're hearing is the movie feels a little bit more like a Thor Ragnarok and a Guardians of the Galaxy versus like a serious Marvel movie that's going to transition into Phase 5."
That is so weird. Like, dude, Kang is the villain. Like, how is that not huge? Like,
They're saying Kang, Jonathan Majors, is like the highlight of this film, and his dialogue and his acting is what saves it, basically. But dude, you have Paul Rudd, you have
I
MODOK,
know. Dude,
you
Bill
have
Murray's in there.
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
So
I don't. Maybe it's just too much. I don't know.
I think
It's sad though.
I think critics are really just trying to shit on Marvel now, dude.
Well, maybe that is the thing. Maybe the the glamorous Marvel is kind of like it's just it's all been done. This isn't surprising anymore, and yeah, so bad marks now.
Hollywood, and I'll talk about this in my review later on, but Hollywood changes, and when there's some movement or some disdain for a certain, we were talking about with Fast and Furious, like we're kind of over it. So, like, is this the downfall of Fast and Furious? Are we looking at the downfall of the MCU? I don't see it yet. I will still go see everything. They haven't DC'd me yet, is really what I need to say.
So maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, but did you hear there was a weird, maybe rumor, a potential that like that whole like DC announcement or the DCU announcement from James Gunn and like all that stuff that's supposed to be coming was like almost a selling point to try to sell maybe DC off or sell Warner Brothers.
Dude,
Have you heard this?
I haven't, but by the way of you talking about that, I could believe that.
Yeah, so there's this whole like rumor out there that this is potentially was like trying to get a whole bunch of buzz going on so that they can sell this property or and obviously probably make tons of money, and then like James Gunn has like a whole nother like agenda for even different movies just because that was just to try to build some buzz. Like I don't know. I have no idea if there's any truth behind it. Like I said, it's total rumor, but I'm with you where I'm like, yeah, that seems like it could have happened. I mean, dude, they're selling all this shit off. Like especially if Warner Brothers is really struggling that much, like it makes sense that they might be like, hey, let's try to capitalize and make some money off of this. So I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that in
Disney,
there since
if DC becomes available, you should buy it.
oh, dude, could you imagine? Oh, that's what would maybe like save it, dude. If they ever had a, like the comic books for that Marvel versus DC, dude. If they did that in the cinema, whew, I would love that.
And then James Gunn didn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
Speaking of more Disney properties, Deadpool 3 is officially Marvel's first rated R film, and they have the Crown star Emma Corrin as the main villain. Have you watched The Crown?
no, and I
Okay.
did see a picture of her, and it is like. I like it because I think it's not like what I was expecting, and I think I'm not really sure who she's gonna play. Do you know?
Nobody knows yet, but what they're speculating, Peter, is she might be Gwenpool.
Oh,
Yeah. So for those who want to watch our YouTube, we're going to reference this article over here, and there you go. That is
yep.
Emma Corrin.
CBR.com.
Look at that.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. But like, is she a bad guy then?
She's going to be a
Gwenpool?
bad guy. Apparently, so one thing I read was Gwenpool was she is there to cause chaos while like Wolverine and Deadpool find their way through like a multiverse kind of thing. So who knows if she'll be a true villain, but if she's like a antagonist for them and they're kind of being there. Well, geez. The internet. We're gonna close this.
that makes sense. I like
it's a
that. I
multiverse
like
movie.
that. Yeah, I like that story. And can you imagine Deadpool in a multiverse? Like that's gonna be good. It has to be good.
Like I think Ant-Man should find a way to have Deadpool in it.
I agree. I mean, they should find a way to get Deadpool in every movie, right?
100%. He could be in X-Men. He could be in Avengers. He could be in Spider-Man. He's perfect. The only thing is, those other properties, he can't be rated R, and that's what makes Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool so good.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Spider-Man, we got Spider-Man 4 story is settled, says MCU boss Kevin Feige. So Kevin Feige, he knows. And the other piece of this is the Fantastic Four are going to start playing a major, large part in the MCU. So I think that's going to tie together. I think we're going to start seeing the first family of the MCU alongside Spider-Man. And this is when the MCU is going to shut all the critics up, in my opinion.
I hope so. I mean, it's been rough sailings, I think, and I thought Ant-Man was gonna save that, but I guess I'm wrong. But I can totally see like, yeah, that's true. I see like Mr. Fantastic potentially being like kind of like a Tony Stark to everyone, like just being a big character like that since he's so brilliant. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I didn't know this. I didn't know a Joker 2 is actually, I mean, they had to be started to film, right? Because there's a first look.
Oh yeah. And with technology right now, Peter, we'll just pop it right up. Look at that.
Yeah. I liked it. I like it.
Look, she's got a little bit of clown makeup on her lips. Joaquin Phoenix looks like what I wake up every Sunday morning. And
oh, what happened?
What happened? Why am I wearing clown makeup on? Why is my hair green today? who's
I like it. I think this is a good still from the movie, and I'm expecting
Todd
good
Phillips,
big
dude.
things.
Master of marketing. Like, when did this image come out?
Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day. And he had like a Valentine's note on there.
It's a
So
very loving, shot right
yeah,
there.
he had a straight up Happy Valentine's Day. There you go. Thanks, Todd Phillips.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh,
Well, I'm excited for that.
In the way. There you go. Yeah, Happy Valentine's Day. So yeah, okay. And Peter, are we done with news or do we got one more? Oh, did you click the link?
No, I don't trust this link. There's a link called soup porn.
You didn't click the link. You got to click the link.
I just did. Yes, I am.
All right, we're
older.
gonna click the link.
Oh, that's great.
Oh man,
talking about good advertising here, like this is where it's at right here. Jeez.
Oh, Valentine's Day sale. I love the boys. Everything about the boys is this is a straight up yes, I'm clicking links. I'm supposed to be 18 or older. I am. The funny thing is you can go through each one of these items and they have descriptions on them. Look at this thing. What the heck is that? It's back in stock. Oh, it's out of stock. You can't get it.
The sex explosion. Oh,
the deep
man.
flounder pounder. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I love and to the story, translucent glass dildo discontinued because translucent is dead.
Yeah.
Oh man. Queen
The
Mob's
star baiter.
Royal Reamer. The silent screamer. Oh my god.
Wow.
Someone put some thought into these products, dude.
I just love you're like, hey man, what can we do to advertise? I know. I got it. The soupporn.com. Wow.
Oh,
That's fun.
man.
I don't know how I missed that. That's a good one.
Well, because it is a very questionable link.
Yeah, when I looked at it, I'm like, I don't know if I should click on that.
Especially at work. You made that mistake. What
You
were reviewing a documentary app and pulled up the link and oops.
Oh man. All right. That's news. Some good stuff, some bad stuff. But let's get on to some really good stuff.
Boom.
Reviews. New reviews. That's what I meant.
New reviews. New old movies.
Yeah. Well, let me kick it off real fast. Since you got the new movie Babylon, I got an old movie. But I like I mentioned before, I watched Baby Driver. I've been wanting to rewatch this one. This is by Edgar Wright. It's so true to form for Edgar Wright. If you like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, all that stuff, this is that minus Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Yep.
So, but dang it, what is the kid's name? Give me a second. But
Baby.
Yes, Baby in it, but I was gonna look up his name. Ansel Elgort, I believe, but he crushes it as Baby. He's the main protagonist. Always going around with headphones in his ears, so you always get to hear his soundtrack to the world, and it syncs up. The music syncs up so perfectly with this movie.
That's
that and alone.
Awesome.
Yes, that and alone is worth watching it. But then on top of that, I think you have some of the best car chases, action scenes that I've seen in a movie.
Much better than anything I've seen in Fast and Furious.
Yes, and it's more, I'd say more realistic. It's more exciting, more intense. It's thrilling, these car chases, and with the soundtrack to it, it's just you're on for a wild ride. And so maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself. The the whole premise is Baby. He's working with Kevin Spacey. That's where you kind of get the, can one person's bad deeds ruin a movie, which I was thinking about it, but at the same time, I'm like, no, this movie's just way too good. I'm not going to let it, this guy ruin this. He's kind of like this kingpin, comes up with all these great plans to steal money from, rob banks, just various plots, and Baby's the driver, hence Baby Driver. And so he's just always waiting. It's always from his point of view, which I really like that too, seeing like you don't actually get to see all the, kind of like the heists going on and the robberies, but you kind of get to see it a little bit from the background, which I thought that was a very interesting perspective throughout this film, is watching it through his eyes and staying focused on him. And so he's always a getaway driver, and that's what he does, and he does an amazing job at it. You got John Hamm in it, which I thought he did a great job, which I forgot his full story arc. And I won't go too much into it because I think it's just it's kind of nice to see that later. Jamie Foxx is in this. John Berthel's in it for a little bit. Flea's in this movie. Like there is just so
we
many.
have a connection.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
All right.
And so like they all kind of jump in. All of them play criminals, by the way, which I think is also really fun for them to do, and they get to have a lot of fun with that. But it is amazing, and then it's all kind of wrapped up with the kind of a romance story blended throughout,
with
where
Pamela Anderson.
Not quite. With what is her name? Her name is Deborah, played by Lily James, and I thought she did a great job just kind of playing this nice I want to say Southern, but I don't think she's Southern. She just plays this nice down to earth girl, and is a little taken aback by Baby's kind of career choice. But it is just such a fun movie. It is a wild ride, and I highly recommend it to anyone that loves music, loves fast cars, and loves babies, I guess.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know where to go with that last part, but it is quite the action thriller, and it is so worth your time. And you can apparently watch it on FX Now currently.
I love Baby Driver for all the things that you mentioned. John Hamm, Jamie Foxx, John Bernthal, but mostly it had a 2006 Subaru WRX as the main vehicle. I'm a big Subaru fan, and that actual car sold for $69,000, and everything was there. It was beat up, bruised. They took away the four-wheel drive. It was a silver car. They repainted it red, and still fetched more money than what a typical WRX typically makes. And it's just one of those iconic Subarus that you see in film, and that makes me happy. It just makes me happy,
awesome.
Peter. Yeah.
So if you take away, and I don't know if you know this, but why would you take away the all-wheel drive so that it can do more crazy stunts?
Yeah, because it was more of a stunt car. So, like in the chase scene, that car was tail whipping a lot more. And if you notice, they would do a lot of reverse driving and stuff. That would just destroy the all-wheel drive.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
yeah, and there was another one that was built where they had a camera just like mounted on top of it, which is pretty cool. So, like
there was
a camera.
a lot of great shots, and I love Edgar Wright's like style of shooting and editing. Like it is a lot of fast, quick cuts, but in a very enjoyable way. You're never lost. So
Him and James Gunn have been amazing at tying their films together with soundtracks.
Absolutely.
I love those two for that, because that brings you into the movie.
And there is such a great scene where there's like a shootout and the music that syncs up with it, like literally the gunshots are going with the beat of the song. Like I don't know how he pulled that off, but it's amazing. Like I remember the first time I watched it, I was just blown away by that, and even the second time, I was still just like, "Damn, that's impressive." So
Who do you
much
think's
fun.
better at it, Edgar Wright or James Gunn?
Um, I I, I think I liked with Baby Driver. I'll have to give it to Edgar Wright just for that aspect of it. I think James Gunn has proven time and time again, though, how music is very critical for his movies, and he's done a really good job at that. But like I said, like I mean, that scene alone with Baby Driver, I think that's the one that like stood out to me the most. And I like there's a lot of interesting music, and here's the other thing too. I think with James Gunn and like Guardians of the Galaxy, like he kind of like really made it so like he's tied down to certain songs, and I think he changed that in the second volume because he got the iPod and everything. But like this one for Baby Driver was just anything, anything was at his disposal to use in this film, and I think that's why it was cool. And there's a lot of music I never even heard of before, which was kind of cool to see too.
For me, it's a toss up, man, because if you put in Baby Driver and then Edgar Wright's other amazing music driven movie, Scott Pilgrim vs. World, like
Oh
his
yeah.
movies play out with the songs, while James Gunn's just have a really cool soundtrack that fit the theme of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I haven't checked out The Last Night in Soho. But
Me
that is Edgar
either.
Wright as well. So that might be the tiebreaker.
Yep, I need to see that one. I do. Which, and I'll say this though, I don't think every Edgar Wright movie has that like great soundtrack. Like I can't remember with like Shaun of the Dead. Like I mean, there was moments I think that they did that were really clever with music and stuff. Hot Fuzz. I don't remember anything standing out. But you're right though. Scott Pilgrim and Baby Driver, like those two movies definitely stand out a lot with their music there. So, Baby Driver.
Baby Driver, recommend it.
You got baby in the title, kind of.
I got
Yeah,
Baby
you do.
Lawn. Is it called Baby Lawn? Is it? That's not our connection though, Peter. Did you know
Oh,
that?
no, I haven't watched this yet.
So I watched Baby Lawn, even though when I first saw the trailer, I saw this trailer and I said, "Nope, I'm not gonna watch this."
Yeah.
Uh,
I think I thought the same thing.
it's
Yeah.
it's 2 hours too long,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 3 hours. So this movie could be done in maybe an hour and 45 minutes. But not really. I mean, okay, this movie was supposed to be presented as like the next. I think that the director is the director who did La La Land,
Mm-hmm. I think
which
you're
was
right.
critically acclaimed. Like it was a great movie, and Babylon was supposed to be the same on the same scale. However, this is one of those movies that was hit by the COVID casualty. It's supposed to be released early in 2020, late in 2020. It was pushed back later, and dude, it was released in the same month as Avatar, the Ferngully sequel. Um, so I don't think it had a chance, dude. And which is weird because this movie sat in studios for so long. So a lot
Yeah.
of people have had some time to watch this and be like, hey, this would be a good time to release it. But I think they fucked up by trying to say, hey, this movie's gonna be awesome. Let's get it some Oscar buzz or whatever.
Yeah, and I think
Um,
that's why they released it then. It was is to make it so it could get into the Oscars this year, which is
what
I
happened?
haven't heard. Is there buzz on that? I don't know. I guess I don't know.
Um, well, it's considered a box office bomb because it didn't do well in its initial release because Avatar came out. at the same time. And this movie,
Yeah.
are you going to watch one 3-hour movie or two 3-hour movies?
Just I can only have time for one, if that.
Yeah. So Academy Awards right now, it's nominated for Best Costume Design, Best Original Score, and Best Production Design. There's a lot of pending awards right now for this. So in retrospect, yeah, it's nominated for a lot. And it does make sense. It is one of those movies where it is very story driven movie. Takes place in the 1920s, and it follows an up and comer producer director who finds a niche in the market, and it's about the transition of Hollywood. So you see these um, these actors and actresses. One's already established, one's not, and they kind of all meet together at these giant parties and orgies and stuff. That's what you see in the trailer. But how it plays out is they're silent film actors, so they're making their careers that way. And then, dude, it just like this movie just hits, and it's like, wait a minute, motion pictures can have sound, and it shows how rough it was of a transition for actors during that time to move to making a movie with picture and sound.
Hmm.
And then as we were talking about with the how fast Hollywood changes and how like one actor could be hot and they can't, or they'll drop them, or like a movie series, stuff like that. A lot of that plays out in Babylon. Mostly it's Brad Pitt's character where he's at the top of the world and you just see his downfall. And he thinks he's just gonna be this Hollywood staple for his entire life, but you kind of see that play out where it doesn't work in his favor. And Margot Robbie's character is kind of the same way, but she goes the path of drugs and debauchery. And you see like the main actor, what's his name? Diego something. Diego Calva. His name is Manny Torres in the movie. He was nobody. He's the one who kind of helped put on the initial party, where all these actors and musicians came together, and he was an assistant to Brad Pitt, and he just moved his way up. So you see the progress of these, like they're the three main characters, and then of course you get the ancillary characters, but they that's why this movie is 3 hours long, because you have to tell the story of Manny. You have to tell the story of Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, like, and they put all these different characters together, tell their story in, I want to say, 3 different time periods of what happens with them.
So are they kind of like all like separate, or are they all intertwined like throughout the film?
They intertwine throughout the film, so nothing is separate. Like you'll see a scene where Brad Pitt runs into Margot Robbie, or you'll see a scene where Manny is meeting up with I forgot the Flea's in this. He's a major producer, so there's our connection with Baby Driver.
Yeah.
And so they all have their separate lives in Hollywood, but they all intertwine somehow and then kind of play off into the sunset. But after trying to put this movie into words and how to review this, I was like, man, this sounds really familiar to something else I watched with Brad Pitt. And it's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood from Quentin Tarantino. And if I were to choose between the two, you watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because it has Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie. So why would I watch Babylon? And it's the
Very
same
true.
premise. Like even Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is about actors transitioning from silent film to motion pictures. And it goes through different periods as well, from the 20s to the 50s to the 70s. It's the weirdest thing. Like it's like they remade that movie without Quentin Tarantino. And
Interesting.
when I
Is
was
it
watching this movie, I was like, this would be a good Tarantino movie. And it is.
so? Is it kind of like very like eccentric? Like it's like that's what it looked like when I was watching the trailer. Was that it like it really stands out, right? Like it's very interesting dialogue, and like their
Yeah.
scenes that they're put into are very odd, and it keeps it, I guess, maybe fresh in a sense where you're entertained because of the weird premises.
You are. I'll give you a certain scene that really stood out. Manny, played by Diego Calva, was he saw the very first movie with sound, and in the theater you saw the entire crowd just uproar. They loved it. So, the next scene is Margot Robbie filming her first movie with sound. So they had to queue up the sound guy. They had to put the camera in a soundproof box. They had to mark it so the camera picked up the proper sound. So instead of just doing like action, just film this. Don't worry about sound. We'll put something on the screen. They showed the actors progression and how they had to adapt to filming the same scene over and over to sync everything together, and they showed the actual frustration of them in front of the record or the movie producers and the actors and the directors, and you just saw this immense amount of chaos filming. And I think they did like 7 takes of one scene. It was 7, and they were just frustrated. But it seems like that, and like you'll see them work, and then you'll see them go to these elaborate or eccentric parties, and that's what you get from the trailer is a lot of those, like that first scene you see with Margot Robbie dancing like crazy, and you see that trailer, that turns into a giant orgy. Yeah, so I mean,
That's
it
how
is
Hollywood.
one of those movies. And
That's
later
what they
on,
do.
like, you saw the scene with Topher Grace, Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
His party was very interesting. So it's about Hollywood, and it's about the growth and the dirty of it, and I would recommend it, mostly because I actually sat through and I watched 3 hours and 5 minutes of it, dude.
I mean,
In
from
one
you
sitting.
yeah, I think from you talking about it, I'm like, I feel like you kind of like this. Like you have a lot to say. So,
I mean, I was
and
captivated. There was maybe
yeah,
1 or 2 parts where I was like, "Okay, this is a little much." But
Mhm.
then it moved on, and then you're like, "Oh, okay, this story is kinda cool how it plays out." So, it being a Hollywood movie, watch it.
Nice. And that's out on VOD now, right?
It's available, yeah, it came out at the end of January.
Oh, okay. Nice. Well, I don't know where that is on my list, but I was interested in it, and now I'm a little bit more, but we'll see if I ever get to that.
I'll tell you what,
But
dude, it wasn't one of those movies I really thought, "Man, I'm gonna sit back and watch this one." But
yeah,
I
you
put it
kind of
on
just
and it was there.
yeah, I think guess I'll have to find that right mood, where I just do that. But we do have some good recommendations.
Yes! Yes! Oh! Oh!
Oh,
Oh
stop her.
no.
Oh! Oh, God.
You never stop her.
Oh. I'll have what she's
You have to let her finish.
Did you stop her?
I did not.
Yes! Yes!
Well, she's going again. Whatever.
Yeah.
I recommend
Oh,
letting
man.
Meg Ryan finish.
That's right. I new season 4, part 1 is out on Netflix now. I've only watched 1 episode so far, but I liked it. I don't know what it is. Like, You is like one of those great blends of, having this kind of like romance with this killer, serial killer basically, but not quite a serial killer. It's weird, but it's a great blend, and it's something that my wife and I just both really love to watch together. And this new season is it's like a murder mystery, and I thought the first episode set it up so well. We were like, holy shit, what is going on? And I'm really looking forward to watching the rest of the episodes. So that's my recommendation right now. You season 4, part 1, since part 2 is not out yet.
I need to catch up because I think I need to watch season 3, but I do like you. I think future Mr. Fantastic is going to be. I think he's awesome in the series.
Oh shit! I forgot he's going to be Mr. Fantastic.
Well, I mean, he certainly looks a part.
Oh, that's true. Oh, so it's not announced yet. We're
Not yet.
breaking
But
news
he's
here.
alluded to it. Yep. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah.
So Peter, my last movie tied to your last movie because of Flea, and my recommendation tied to your last movie, because I watched Pamela Anderson's documentary, and Lily James from Baby Driver played Pamela Anderson in the Hulu series Pam and Tommy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so see, look how beautiful she is in that right there. She looks just like Pamela Anderson, and that just shows that Lily James is phenomenal. However, my recommendation is not only just the Hulu series, but it's Pamela, A Love Story. It's interesting because Pam Anderson, she's been through some shit, dude. And
Yeah.
everything changed when that sex tape was released. That's where you really saw someone. Dude, she was just used throughout her career. She was used as a sex symbol, and yes, she knew what she was worth. But when she wanted to be like a main actress, they gave her a role of barbed wire.
Hmm.
When she was asked, "Hey, wouldn't you want to be a serious actor?" and she goes, "Well, I am a serious actor." So, and then when that sex tape came out, they're like, "What are you complaining about? You're in Playboy. Like you just give this up." So it's very interesting to see her life. And the most interesting thing about this was directed and produced by her sons.
Oh,
So they
wow.
went through all this archival footage of Pamela Anderson, told her side of the story from her growing up all the way till her current living situation, even after the Pam and Tommy series on Hulu, like how she didn't want to see it. She reached out to Tommy Lee and she's like, "What do you think about this?" And he goes, "Oh, whatever." Tommy Lee, he thrives on this kind of publicity. This is all he can get left. Pamela Anderson, she was the product of it, and you really see an actress just kind of get away from Hollywood and be okay with it. Like I feel like I could just hang out with Pamela Anderson now, you know,
Wow.
because she's
Yeah.
still very beautiful. Like, she admitted she had plastic surgery on her boobs, but you see her now, she doesn't look like she has plastic surgery anywhere else. And I think that's someone who was like, "Hey, I'm an actual human being, so respect me. Put some respect my name."
I like that. I mean,
So Pam
that's
on Netflix.
yeah, yeah. Good for her. I think that is a nice thing. I saw that and I am interested to watch it. And um
Watch it with a
yeah,
wife, dude.
it's
She'll love it.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's warranted. Just because
Yeah,
you
I
got
think.
big boobs, that doesn't mean that's all that you are. You can still be a serious actress. So
Well,
yeah.
she's turned out to be like an entrepreneur, and she has still made a lot of money in real estate. And dude, she's bringing up her kids. Like
Yes.
she's given the opportunity for her kids to have careers in Hollywood in a pretty positive way, which is cool.
Yeah. Which the fact that they did this, that really just goes to show, like, I mean,
They had to see
they
scenes of her mom and dad doing it.
oh, yeah. Well, but also like they must have seen all the effects that it's had on their mom and how it's maybe changed her life and how she views things and how society probably still views her. So like we need to get the real story out there. So I applaud them. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that was pretty big of them. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and it kind
Nice.
of goes hand in hand. Watch Pam and Tommy on Hulu because you got to see that side of the story, but then you got to see Pam's side of the story, and some transparency in Hollywood is pretty nice.
Yeah.
So, man, I had a pretty profound review on a Oscar movie with Oscar potential winning movie and a documentary. It's unlike me. I don't watch
You
that kind of
really,
crap.
man, going to Arizona and Super Bowl really changed you.
Yeah, right. Maybe I had some peyote out there, and I was like, man, I need to be different. As I'm watching professional wrestling in the background.
Nice. Jeez. All right. Well, buddy, it was great to catch up with you and talk movies. Thank you everyone for listening. We will see you next week. And remember to go to our website, bmoviesbeyond.com. Rate and subscribe.
Rate, subscribe, like, follow, do all that good stuff. And we got outro music. Thanks, Peter. I'm glad you did the show today. You're feeling like crap. Go get the itches out.
Be sure to visit moviesbeyond.com.